Canadian Prime Minister is under fire for freezing funds to the Freedom Convoy and for his accusations that extremist groups are sending funds. Meanwhile, the gridlock exists just outside Parliament building, where we find Toronto correspondent Michael Charbon live in Ottawa. He has the very latest there. Clearly, it's still packed there behind you. What's the latest, Michael?
Sean, there's hesitant calm here. I mean, the police officers have stepped up their foot patrols. There are now 10 to 15 people at a time that are walking back. There are more black vans, and these black vans are blacked out, but they're filled with cops. And this morning they handed out these two pieces of paper. One that basically says that if you're a protester and you're here, you can be arrested. The other says, if your car is towed away, this is where you can pick it up. The spokeswoman for this is Pat King. Pat King has been basically the voice of these truckers and has been talking about the freedom and obviously wanting the mandates to be put down. Newsmax this morning, because we were here early, had a chance to talk to Pat King, and this is what he had to say. So if they're going to start towing trucks, they're going to have a problem doing that because your fellow tow truck drivers don't want to be the guys who are going to be hauling rigs out of here. How are they going to move these vehicles?
I don't know. There's no tow trucks in Canada that'll touch them. They even tried Buffalo, New York, and they said no.
Nope. They might lose their livelihoods. They're talking about freezing their bank accounts?
Nope. I've already had my bank account frozen. It is what it is.
So you heard Pat King. They've got the bank accounts frozen. They're not afraid. A lot of these truckers are saying, I don't care. You can arrest me. Tow my truck away. I don't care. I'm standing here because of freedom. There's no violence. But again, Sean and Emma, there's trepidation because we don't know what's going to happen. Supposedly there's 6 vans filled with police officers at the airport. And it stopped raining, thankfully, because it was freezing rain and terrible, but we're expecting 12 inches of snow. If it snows, these trucks are going to be locked in. So it's still a standoff here, and as I said, trepidation, but everybody's, just waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Yeah, undoubtedly so, and it's just amazing to watch. You're right, and you're reporting fearless. There's no fear in these guys' eyes when they're talking about this. Michael Charbon joining us live there from Ottawa, live on the ground. Michael, thank you. Our panelists are going to return now for reaction. Betsy, McCaughey, Jonathan Harris, and Bill McGinley. And Bill, I'll start with you on this. Your reaction just to seeing that. I mean, emergency powers enacted by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau there. Those truckers are saying, hey, look, these tow truck companies aren't going to come. It's not going to happen. And they've tried it, and they're not going anywhere. Your thoughts?
Look, I mean, these guys are peacefully assembled to express their view that the mandates in Canada are wrong. And this is what peaceful protest looks like. Having the threat of a heavy-handed dispersing of the truckers who have gathered in Ottawa, but also across Canada, I think raises a troubling specter. Trudeau really is giving the impression that he has never had to handle a crisis like this, where the people of Canada have risen up to oppose his policies. And so I think it's going to be something to watch in the hours and days to come.
Yeah, especially as the weather could get worse. What does that mean for the convoy that is sort of staked out there outside Parliament? Jonathan, it's hard to ignore, of course, if you're living there. It's such a large number of people who are gathered together. And as Bill points out, they just want to have a conversation about these vaccine mandates for truck drivers who, when you think about it, are pretty isolated in their day-to-day jobs. But what's interesting, Jonathan, is there have been reports and even guests on this program who've said that they anticipate something similar to happen in the U.S., or at least somewhat similar, a U.S. trucker convoy departing from California and heading to Washington, D.C. Your thoughts on sort of this multi-country movement that we've now seen?
I just think these people are an embarrassment, and it's sad because calling this some kind of freedom convoy is absolutely ridiculous. It's a convoy of people who don't like rules, who don't understand shared responsibility, in a civilized society, and that we all have a responsibility to each other to behave within reason. And what they're doing is they are blocking businesses. There have been, according to a former Ottawa police chief, there have been hate-motivated incidents, assault, businesses have been closed down. And if this had been the Black Lives Matter movement, you wouldn't be getting the support that you're getting from the right wing. This is exactly what they called out, supposedly, from Black Lives Matter protesters. But now when it's a trucker convoy for quote-unquote freedom, which is a joke, they have the full support. So if this comes into the U.S., you're likely to continue to see the same silly hypocrisy from the right. And these people should be ashamed of themselves. They are honking their horns, disturbing people trying to rest. People are losing work because they're closing down factories. It's just a convoy of people who don't like rules and don't understand shared responsibility. It's embarrassing.
Betsy McCaughey, is it embarrassing? Is it a joke? Your
No,
thoughts?
it is not. Freedom is not a joke. And to liken these to the Black Lives Matter protesters is the ultimate deception. The Black Lives Matter protesters burned down stores, attacked cops, enormous property destruction, and injury to human life. None of that has occurred. Even CNN, Colonel News Network, is reporting no bloodshed at all from the truckers. The fact is, I'm proud of these truckers. I'd be delighted to see the same thing happen in the United States. It's time to stand up to the whole notion of government emergency powers. In both of our countries, we have a constitution that guarantees us certain rights and limits the powers of government, and those rights and limits should not be suspended in a so-called emergency.
All right, we'll continue to follow the latest out of the trucker convoy that is happening as we speak. But before we start our next hour, just want to get our panelists' take briefly on this new Quinnipiac poll. It's got some perspective for us, where Americans are viewing the president's response to a number of issues here. We'll take a look at COVID. 53% disapprove, 45% disapprove of his Supreme Court approach, 54% disapprove of his handling of foreign policy, 54% also on Russia, Ukraine. Economy, that's the big one there. 61% disapprove of the president's handling on that, and also 62% on gun violence. Bill McGinley, your thoughts when just looking broadly at this new poll?
For the Biden White House and any congressional Democratic candidate on the ballot in November, very troubling numbers. It shows how the Democratic Party has really dug itself into an electoral hole with all of their misguided policies during the pandemic and in other issues.
All right, yeah, and again, one of the biggest ones there, obviously, is economy. That's when you fill it in the pocketbooks there. Again, Quinnipiac polling just coming out with the overall approval rating again there for President Biden. They're at 35%. The president now headed to Ohio to tout his Build Back Better plan, which many argue is more government spending. Jonathan Harris, your thoughts on that?
I think, real simply put, I think Biden is doing the work. Again, we've got almost record low unemployment, record jobs added to the economy during his administration. But his PR is awful. And I'm not even going to argue that his PR is awful. He has got to go out and control his messaging, because if he doesn't, Republicans are going to do it for him. And that's what you're seeing. Okay. You're seeing people parroting that.
All right. We're out of time there. Betsy McCaughey, Jonathan Harris, Bill McGinley, thank you so much. We do appreciate your thoughts as always and having those conversations.